Greetings, welcome back to another video. This time around we are going to be dealing with the intermediate map of Bazaar. So we are at the very end of being halfway of intermediate map. So once we're done with this, we are officially exactly halfway, which we do love to see. So let's just get started. Bazaar, real quick about this map. This one is quite tricky. One of the harder intermediate maps for sure. So essentially it has these buildings, and the balloons, they go like this, here, and then they go this way in the and the rounds changes. They change like that. So you're gonna have one round where they go like this, and then the other round where they go like that, pretty much. So very, very standard. Nothing too crazy about this map. But yeah, I've never liked it very much. It's another, like, community-made map that I just think is not very interesting. But technically, I guess there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, it's just very standard. I just have always disliked playing it for some reason. I'm honestly, I'm not really sure why I just don't like it, but I just don't. I just think it's boring, and well, it's never really been my kind of map. Let's just put it that way, I guess. Anyway, I guess I should put down the mage right now. I may even die here if I'm not careful. I guess this is fine. Yeah, so this strategy for today is going to be very, very normal. We're not going to do anything too crazy for this one. Essentially, we're just going to use two very powerful mages, and hopefully that's going to be enough to take everything down. And well, it should be. I have already recorded one video of this, but I was so dissatisfied with the video, so I decided to just record it again today. I recorded this originally yesterday, but it's just that I ended up dying like 5 times because I goofed a little bit with the alchemist. I went for the middle path, and I think it ended up screwing me over because of RNG. I don't know if you know this, but the alchemist can get highly RNG based if you're like a little bit unlucky, and the reason is because the alchemist it switches between what it gives, what it buffs essentially, and you need the buff to apply to certain monkeys at times, right? So once you have the Archmage, the Archmage, I'm gonna place down that one just to be safe. But yeah, once you have the why am I goofing about this upgrade? I don't know why I'm goofing. The Archmage, yeah. Of course that's what it's called. I don't know why I'm messing this up, but as I said, once you have that, it's going to be by far the strongest tower, and naturally you would want it to be buffed at all times. That's kind of what you want, but since I messed up with the alchemist, and I went for the middle path, which gives a stronger buff, but it takes a longer time before the buff to be applied, the Bloons then overwhelmed me at some point, and I ended up dying like very stupidly, when it technically shouldn't really be possible to die, so I mean, it was okay. It's not the end of the world, but, you know, I would rather avoid that if I can. Anyway, so we go for the first one here. I'm just gonna... You can alter between the wall of fire. I'm gonna go for the bottom here, because we're gonna need that for round 28 and round 30, so I'm just gonna place it here for now. Yeah, I can go ahead and place the next mage, so place it here. It is a little bit awkward the way the towers are placed, but because of these roads, you need to sort of have the towers here in the middle, unless you use like a Spirit of the Forest or something like that, which I did use initially, but getting a little bit tired of using it, and it didn't feel as reliable, honestly, but it is very good, but I don't know, I wanted to do something else, and I do really like the wizard, so here we are. Gonna use that, and again we'll go for the guided wizard, just so we can see a little bit more. A little bit more range has never hurt. Never hurts. Gotta be careful around 32 here for camo or for purples. We don't have yet the ability to deal with those, but we will eventually, but not just yet. And before round 40, we're gonna get the Dragon's Breath, because it's decent Moab damage, and balloon damage for that matter. Just decent damage all around. Like, it's not incredibly strong, but it does its job, and it's gonna help for a little bit of time. For a little while. So, gonna get that before we start working on the Archmage. So, Dragon's Breath first. And, gotta be a bit careful around 36, just to be aware. Because, you know, we only have camo in Sada. So, gotta watch out for that. The village is too fat, or too wide, I should say, to fit in the middle. So, we kinda have to place it here, which is awkward, because it's not going to cover the other mage. Also, round 37, camo white, so remember the ability there. Just, things are happening very quickly. Before we do the village, let's do the alchemist for around 40. So, maybe that is a bit close. Guess that's fine. Berserker Brew. Not gonna bother. Guess we can get faster throwing. As I said, I did the middle path last time, and that ended up messing things up a little bit for me. So, this is fine. Completely destroyed. As it should. Alright, so that's great. Let's get the top half too. There's no need to... Oh wait, we need to worry about camos for around 42, right? Let's see if there's anything to worry about. I can see how we do once we deal with these camos, and we absolutely need the camo detection there. That was barely enough. So upgrade to Camo Village before round 42, just to be on the safe side. Luckily, the ability has been upgraded a little bit, yeah, but it was barely able to hold the blues there, so... yeah, I don't have the best Sada placement in the world, that's why we are leaking on 42, but usually Sada is able to do 42 as well, and doesn't lose until round 51, but there's no need to delay the inevitable, you could say, which is to give camos to the wizards. This wizard does not have camo because of the range of the village, but don't worry. We're gonna fix that a little bit later on, but we'll fix it. No need to freak out just yet. It's not too necessary right now, but it will be eventually. 48 a little scary too, but Sada should be strong enough for the purples. Screw it. I might as well just add the village. And what this village does is to give the range that we need. So essentially this village gives us the ability to get camo detection for this monkey too, right? So that's kind of the purpose of it, to increase the range. So that is a part of it. We're also going to be using the discount for another tower that we will be adding a little bit later. Get the Arcane Spite, which should be good enough for Moabs for now. But yeah, we're gonna get another tower because round 63 is a bit of a pain in the ass. Always, can always be a little bit troublesome, right? So, gonna deal with that. And the way to deal with that is gonna be with some icicles. So, I'll place that down as soon as I can. Start with the discount village though. Make it just a little bit cheaper. Not necessary technically, but money isn't too tight here, but it's a little bit tight in a way, but not really. So here's 55. Nothing too crazy. I'm curious to see how I fare on round 62 again though, since I actually managed to die. When I did this yesterday with this exact same setup, but the difference was the Alchemist, and I'm certain that the reason why I did die was because of the Alchemist. Stupid Alchemist RNG there. Pretty sure that's what ruined everything. Right, so we got 12k. I guess that's enough to start placing it down, so let's just place it around here and then go for the icicles. Cold snap as well, just go for it. We have the fort too. You could technically go for the impale, but kind of a shitty spot for it. I mean, you could go for the top half, some primary training, and you could use it, but the biggest weakness we have is going to be, I guess it's grouped Moabs, and for that we're going to be using this guy right here. Takes a while before we get that though, so Archmage it is. We need to, or Archmage, is how you would pronounce it. Been goofing a lot with my English lately as I do these guides. Like I'm rewatching my videos sometimes of my recordings and stuff, and I'm like, man, I sound like a moron, but yes, it's just the way it is. You know, so many things to do at the same time. You know, we gotta make sure the gameplay is adequate as well. So it gets a little bit close. So if you do leak, use the ability. That's why you have it. So here's 63, and the icicle is gonna make it very easy. That's why we got it. Very strong against Bloons. So round 63 is no problem. So that is one big concern out of the way, and now we should be getting the Archmage in the beginning of the 70s, I think. So like 74, 75-ish. Yeah. According to my calculations, and then we get the Wizard Lord Phoenix in the 90s. Like 94 or something, 95, close to that. So the Archmage needs to solo for quite some time. And yeah, the Impale, while the tower is very good, since we are doing the Wizard Lord Phoenix, it's not going to be necessary. And I do think if we did use the Impale, we may have had to use something more in order to deal with the Moabs later on. So that's why I like these strong wizards here, because they're so strong. So they're able to just destroy the later rounds. The only tough part is to get it online. And yeah, the Wizard Lord Phoenix is really strong because of its ability. Very strong ability that just annihilates everything. So pretty reliable in that regard, and we are able to save up for everything because the Archmage too is so good. And it's not that expensive. Like the 10k upgrade does a decent enough damage that you're able to save up for the 34k upgrade. So it has very good, like, I guess you could say it's not really synergy, it's more like it has a good upgrade path, you know? Like you can just save up for it on a lot of maps without any problems. So, it's gonna be great to get this map out of the way. I'll admit that, yeah, as I said earlier, I do not like this one. I always dread the, like, oh no, it's Bazaar, you know? I don't know why, but I don't know if you guys feel the same way. I just feel like this is certainly one of the more boring maps. Well, technically, there isn't really anything wrong with it. I just, yeah, I'm repeating myself here, but I just don't like it. Really, it's that simple, you know? It's not you, it's me kind of a deal. So my own favorite maps, this is probably one of my least favorite intermediate maps to play. I just, the thing is, it's kind of awkward with where you have to place your towers. I guess that's why I find it annoying to deal with. While the way the balloons come, I guess that's technically okay. It's not too bad. It's gonna be a lot worse later on as we deal with, like, Pat's Pond, though. Man, that map sucks. But that is possibly the worst map in the game. Close to Glacial Trail, which is another abysmal map. Man, that one is horrible. I've never actually completed it, but it has a gimmick that is just so annoying. It's like covered garden on steroids. That's gonna be great, but that's gonna be a lot later. A lot later. So we got the Archmage now, and we haven't been remotely close to dying. We have the abilities if we need them. Both abilities are good for catching leaks. So now it's just really chilling. What can I say? You can just relax, get the MIB for the sake of purples, making sure we're prepared against DDTs, and now we can just save up for the Wizard Lord Phoenix, which is gonna take 60k to get. Okay, that seemed a little bit close, but the Archmage does have a lot of range. But always stay stay ready to press the ability, just in case something happens and you're unlucky. That can always happen in this game, that there's some weird thing with the Alchemist happening, or suddenly something weird is happening. It can easily happen. it's so strange, but like I had numerous runs where I do one thing, I die, I do exactly the same thing, and I don't die. It happened when I did the Lost Crevice map, and I tried to figure out my strategy. I had times where I literally did the same thing, and I died once, and I did not die the other time. And that thing happens in Bloody Puddles too, when you, or at least used to. I haven't really followed the meta for that, but there's the start there is an enormous pain in the ass, where you can just lose even though the towers are perfectly placed. So if you are unlucky, it's kind of crazy. But we're luckily far from that. I'm really dreading once that happens. But all right, so we're past the 80s. Enough chit chat. Let's just start paying a little bit of attention, so we don't end up making a fool of ourselves. So we will be making like 25k from 80 to 84, and then we need to make another, pretty much another 30k afterwards, which we will be getting in the 90s, as I said. So 94 gives you a lot of money. 92 gives you a decent amount as well. Sod hasn't done anything. There's 4k pops. Crazy. The Alchemist almost has more pops than that. The Dark Monkey, 2,000. Not too bad. In total, they're roughly the same as Soda. They have even more than Soda, actually. Almost. Yeah. So that's kind of crazy. Just showing you that Soda is not really doing anything here. The spot is just not very good, but we don't need a strong hero for this map. And honestly, there aren't too many strong candidates because of, again, the way the space here is. It just makes it awkward. Maybe some ETN is better on this one. ETN is probably decent on this map. Or Psy, perhaps, but I don't like Psy at all. The reason is just because the stalling is just so unbearable. Like, it takes forever to complete a round, so probably not gonna use Psy unless I really have to. Corvus would be decent here, I guess, but don't want to deal with him either. Just want to sit and watch, that's what I like, especially when we're dealing with the more simpler of tasks. Well, the Bazaar is up there. It's up there, but it's not as difficult as Bloon's Prime, though. Or Lost Crevice, for that matter. Rake and Shoots, probably roughly the same, but I would say that Rake and Shoots are both harder. We'll see once I do them again. Haven't played those maps in a very long time, so that's gonna be exciting. I gotta think of which ones we have left. I think the next one is Ajora's Temple, and then we have to do like Spring, and some of those water maps. There's a few. There's another one like the one with the circles, I forget what it's called, for some reason. Spring is the other one, but the one with the circles is the one by the pond. There's not that much water involved, though. Oh, crap. Yeah, I got cold feet there for a second, but it wasn't necessary at all to use the ability. Okay, so we're missing 50k, and now last 10 rounds. Hasn't really been too difficult. Nothing too crazy. Hit the DDTs. We got cards and darts, but that's easy. Yeah, so we got a lot of easy maps coming up, and yeah, a lot of good maps before Extreme Bed, Cracked. Those are nice and easy. It's gonna be nice to deal with those before we tackle Advanced, when we're gonna be dealing with a lot of annoying maps, so yay! But we're not there yet, luckily. I'm just enjoying my time with this, and my plan is to be done with the intermediate maps, using the ability just to be sure, because we are close in terms of money. But as I said, my plan is gonna be to be done with everything, or done with all intermediate maps by the time, or like before the next update. And once the next update is here, I start with the advanced maps. That would be the plan that I'm crafting in my head, because the next update's gonna be here like in a month. It's crazy. Like early October, it's here again because it's soon Halloween. But anyway, get the Wizard Lord Phoenix and use the ability if you can. I guess we don't need to because the Phoenix is so strong, but on 96 and 98 we'll definitely use the ability. I'll even prepare the Alchemist here because I like to get the Unstable Concoction on strong for 96 and 98. Just does a lot of damage. Okay, so that's 95. There's no need to use the ability until we see COMGs. And we don't see COMGs just yet, so let's just wait it out while we can. There we go. Now we can use it. It just does a lot of damage, just destroys the round, and it's back up fairly quick to, like, look at that. The cooldown is basically over. You can use it again. That's why it's so bloody expensive to get it. So 97. Oh, that's fine. No problem. Okay, ability time for 98. Use that. Alright, not a problem at all. The Archmage takes care of the rest, so just completely destroyed. And here's 99. Ability again. Boom. There we go. And here's the bad. Do I want to do something? For the sake of experimenting, let's just not do anything. And see what happens. Otherwise, I would use the sub and the ability there. Like first strike. Okay, let's use the ability. I think the Archmage is enough to break the layer. And then sword charge afterwards, and boom. There we go. A little bit risky to do that towards the end, but I think we're safe because the Phoenix actually takes care of all of the leaks and stuff, and you also have Sawdust 2 abilities, as well as decent rage on the Archmage, so you shouldn't be at risk, but I just did it anyway because of flex, I guess. But if you want to be safer, just use first strike to get some damage off from the bad, so it pops earlier. That would make everything a lot safer, but yeah, 111,000 the Alchemist. That's pretty good. Let's see how we did. 660k on the Wizard Lord Phoenix. Yeah, the Archmage 1 million. Sada 42k. So Sada got a bit more towards the end there. 137,000 on the Icicles. That is not bad at all. So yeah, that is it, I guess. Bazaar has been completed. It is a wonderful day. What can I say? This is good news. Love to see it. Love to see it. So we are now officially halfway done with the intermediate maps. And yeah, we're getting up there now. So next up's gonna be Doris Temple. We deal with Spring, and yeah, we got a lot of juicy ones. Oh, Downstream. That was the name of that one. Yeah, I couldn't remember the Spring one. A name so good, they named it twice. I remember that one. It's a map that I actually... One of the first Chimps videos I made on my channel. I remember it. It was update 11. Good times. But yeah, we got some spicy maps coming up before we start with the advanced maps. And I haven't done any of these. Like, I have been sort of absent. I took like a long break, so I didn't blackboard or anything. But everything is blackboarded so far. I even went ahead and blackboarded Lost Crevice and stuff, so... Sulphur Springs and I think there was another one that I hadn't done too. But whatever. I'm going on a bit of a tangent. The video ended ages ago. But that's it. So thanks a lot for watching. And I will see you in the next video, which is going to be Doris Temple.